Hi, good afternoon. My name is Ralph, and in today's tutorial, I'm going to do a Payroll 101 for employers. We're going to try to make this simple and straight to the point. So first, what I wanted to show are the amount of payroll periods, or the types of payroll periods that we have. There are 4 types of payroll periods. We have weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, and monthly. Weekly is once a week. Bi-weekly is every other Friday. Semi-monthly is usually on the 1st and on the 15th. And then monthly would be once a month, in this example on the 5th. But let's focus right now on the weekly. So like I mentioned, the weekly is once a week. In this example, we're going to say that the payroll starts on the 1st and ends on the 7th. The pay date is usually 3 to 5 days after the last day of the payroll period. So in this example, we put 4 days and the pay date would be October 11th. And the reason why you want some space around that is in case there's any adjustments, any missed punches, and you need to follow up with employees and find out exactly how much time they actually put in. This weekly pay period schedule has 52 pay periods, meaning that it's a little bit more expensive than the other pay periods, and that's because we have to run 52 payrolls per year. And that means in Apollo Payroll, we charge per payroll per run, so that's 52 payroll runs. But then again, it's extremely common. As a matter of fact, I personally have my entire staff on a weekly payroll because I believe that it does help with budgeting purposes. The next one is the bi-weekly. Bi-weekly is, like I mentioned earlier, it's when you hear people say, oh, I get paid every other Friday, I get paid every other Thursday, or whatever the case might be. In this example, the beginning date, sorry about that, the pay period is going to start on the 1st and it's going to end on the 14th. And the pay date's going to be Thursday the 19th. Again, we need 3 to 5 business days in order to make sure that all the punches have been entered correctly and all the employees are getting paid properly. There are 26 pay periods in this type of payroll, and it is not as expensive in comparison to the weekly, and believe it or not, it is the most common. We want to say probably about 70% of all of our employees are actually on the bi-weekly. The next one is a semi-monthly. Semi-monthly is when you hear people getting paid on the 1st and on the 15th. Well, in this example, we're going to close our payroll period on October 1st, and usually the pay date is going to be on October 6th. If the pay period closes on the 15th, then usually the payroll date is going to be on the 20th. This one is a little bit more less expensive than the bi-weekly. Just because there's 24 pay periods as opposed to 26. It is common, but it's not necessarily ideal. Most employees like paying on a bi-weekly than a semi-monthly just because it affords them the ability to pay less on a pay period basis, because you have the individual salary spread out by 26 pay periods as opposed to the 24 pay periods. Finally, we have the monthly. Monthly, like that is just once a month, and this is very uncommon. This is not common at all. It is the least expensive. This is recommended only for those small corporations where they have 1 or 2 owners and they get paid on a monthly basis. That way they can save some money on the payroll fees themselves. I went ahead and I prepared a sample payroll. In this sample payroll, we're going to assume that the gross pay per employee is $36,000. And what I wanted to project was for you to see how much money you had to pay on every pay period, gross, obviously. If you had an employee at $36,000 and you were at a weekly pay period, you would pay them 52 weeks, and every week would be a gross of $692.30. This is why I personally like it, just because it helps with my budget, and it's not as rough as if you were doing it on a bi-weekly or a semi-monthly. Showing on a bi-weekly, it's $36,000 per year divided by 26 weeks. That comes out to $1,384.61 gross. Semi-monthly would be $36,000 per year divided by 24 weeks, and that's $1,500 gross. Finally, monthly is $36,000 per year divided by 12 months, and that's $3,000 gross. I'm going to go ahead and put this, make sense of this for everybody. So I have this example over here. In this example, we have an employee that's getting paid $36,000. We're going to assume that the employee is single and has 0 dependents, that they're also on a bi-weekly payroll schedule. So like we mentioned early, on a biweekly payroll schedule at $36,000, the gross is $1,384.61. The way that we get that is we get the 36,000 and we divide that by 26 weeks, and that gives us $1,384.61. The federal withholding for the employee is $176.49. The employee Social Security withholding is $85.85, which is 6.2% of the gross. The employee Medicare is $20.08, which is 1.45% of the gross. In the end, their net or their take home is $1,102.19. So that's gross minus will give us the net of $1,102.19. Now, as an employer, you also have responsibility, and you have to match both the Social Security and the Medicare. In this example, the Social Security is $85.85, and in this one, the Medicare is $20.08. But as an employer, you also have to pay Florida unemployment, which is usually 2.7% of the first $7,000. So 2.7% times $1,384.61 is going to give us $37.38. You also have to pay employer federal unemployment, which is 0.6% of the first $7,000 in wages. So in this example, we get 0.6% and we multiply that by $1,384.61, and that gives us $8.30. If we add all these numbers together, we come up with a total of $151.61. This is the total tax to employer. Now I want to show you what your actual total cost is going to be. So what does it cost to pay an employee $1,384.61 bi-weekly? First, we're going to need to get the actual gross wages. We're going to add the employer Social Security, add the employer Medicare, add the Florida unemployment, and also add the federal unemployment. Once we add up all these numbers, we come up with a total of $1,536.22, which is roughly about 10% of the gross. That wraps it up. So if you have any questions, by all means, feel free to give us a call at 1-877-376-0033, or feel free to drop us an email at support@apollopayroll.com. And as always, we encourage you to visit our website at apollopayroll.com and visit us at our social media. Thank you.